Bernie Sanders. I take Bernie Sanders behind door number 1. All right, guys. You guys ready for this? A lot happening with Bernie Sanders right now. And I remember last election cycle, right? Bernie Sanders was out there. He was talking. He was basically pushing the same legislation that he's pushing now. And people had some criticism of him, and that wasn't coming from people on the right. This wasn't coming from people in the Hillary camp. There was some criticism coming from people who actually supported Bernie Sanders. And that criticism was that Bernie Sanders was not fighting enough to their standards. They felt that Bernie was leaving too much on the field. He wasn't going for the juggler like he should be going for the juggler. They were critical of Bernie Sanders. They said, no, Bernie, you got to try harder. You got to fight harder. Now, from time to time, I would say the same thing, something similar like, Bernie, stick it to him. Don't hold any punches. This is too important. I looked at it like life or death for so many people. In reality, it is life or death for so many people. That's not an overstatement. Well, it seems like Bernie Sanders has taken our cue. He's been listening because Bernie Sanders, he ain't the same old Bernie Sanders.
And yet at the end of 45 years, the average American worker today is not making a nickel more in real inflation accounted for dollars than he or she made 45 years ago. How does that happen? How does it happen that over the last 30 years, the top 1% have seen a $21 trillion increase in their wealth? 1%, $21 trillion increase in their wealth. Bottom 50% have seen a $900 billion decline in their wealth. All right? How does all of that happen? And the reason it happens is that you have a corporate power elite in America whose greed and corruption has destroyed the middle class of this country. And I'm here to tell you, I cannot take them on alone. I cannot sit down with the fossil fuel industry and say, hey, please, guys, be nice people. Stop destroying the planet. I can't sit down with the drug companies and say, stop your price fixing, although I can do something about that. But stop charging us the highest prices in the world. What we need are millions of people to stand up alongside me and tell the insurance companies and the drug companies and the fossil fuel industry and Wall Street that they cannot continue to do what they're doing. And that's what this campaign is about. It is obviously about, I'm here to ask for your help to win here in New Hampshire. I'm asking for your help to win the Democratic primary. But I am asking your help the day after we are inaugurated to work with me to stand up to the corporate elite and tell them that this country does not belong to a handful of billionaires. It belongs to all of us.
That's right. Yeah. I didn't see gloves on his hands this time. I just saw knuckles. Bernie's fighting them, and he's coming at them directly. He's calling them out by name. The guy has a website where he puts billionaires on it. Now, I know I come from the rap era when hip-hop was more gritty than it is now, and I haven't seen any rappers put any billionaires on a website and shame them. I know some boxers out there that kicked a lot of butt. Fierce in the ring, you know? We come from that kind of culture, you know? That's what happens. Great athletes, people like that, people that call it out, but I have yet to see anyone go to the level, the extreme of Bernie Sanders, the level of Bernie Sanders, and call it what it is. They are raping us. Since the 40s, if you were balancing inflation, we're making the same amount of money we're making back in the 40s. Can you believe that? Bernie Sanders is calling it out. That was in New Hampshire. Just so happens in New Hampshire, Sanders overtakes Biden in the polls. Yeah, that's something you won't hear them talk much about on corporate media. Senator Bernie Sanders leads the Democratic presidential field in New Hampshire with 21% in the gravest marketing poll released Tuesday. I know you think he said, well, Tim, it just came out today. Maybe they just didn't have a chance to cover it. Well, they had a chance to cover some spin articles on him. They've had a chance to put out articles saying that Bernie sounds like Trump because he's calling out the media and their fallacies and their BS narratives. They got time to do that. But this poll, somehow, I can't see it. I don't even know it exists. Folks, if we're going to live with blinders on as if these people don't know what they're doing, as if every time they fail, we say it's we just overlook it, it's a mistake, then we're going to be forever with bananas in our tailpipe. Bernie Sanders is followed by former Vice President Joe Biden with 15% and Senator Elizabeth Warren at 12%. Why is it every time I hear these polls, I keep hearing how Warren's just killing it and Biden's still holding it, but I'm not hearing the other side of it. When Bernie's up, quiet on the set. When he's doing bad or if he's not winning, then we hear the talk constantly. Folks, they don't want Bernie Sanders. Did you hear any of these other candidates talk like Bernie? Come on, I'm sure I got some people who are conservative who watch this show. I know I do. Shout out to my friends, or a couple of my friends told me their parents watch the show and they're conservative. So shout out to everybody. Look, everybody's welcome. You may not always agree with me. In fact, I know you won't always agree with me because that's not what this is about. This isn't about agreeing. This is about trying to find the truth. Just know this, Mom and Dad, when you watch me, you're not watching a corporation that's owned by these bigwigs. You're not watching special interest money. You're watching somebody all heart tell you what they believe and what they found. And I leave it to you to make your decision. But back to Bernie Sanders. The poll stands in contrast from the most recent polls in New Hampshire compiled by Real Clear Politics, which will show Biden leading in the critical primary state. See, this is the thing. Which brings us to the other point of Bernie Sanders lately. Bernie Sanders has been calling out news entities that fail to report it accurately. One of those news entities that they're calling out is the Washington Post. Now, some of you may not remember because maybe you weren't watching closely last election. There was a period in time, 24 hours, where the Washington Post put out not one, not 5, not 10, but 16 hit pieces. It was at least 16. Now, there may have been more. 16 hit pieces in 24 hours against one candidate, and that candidate was Bernie Sanders. Now, you can do something one time, and I go, okay, yeah. You can do something 2, 3 times, I'd be like, well, maybe, things happen, It's okay. But if you do something 10 times, 12 times, 14 times, 15 times, 16 times, I don't think it's an assumption to say you meant to do that-ish. That was your intention. You have a strategy, and you have marching orders. Well, Bernie Sanders ain't taking that line down now. And they're starting to cry. They're starting to cry now. See, this is how it is. When you fight back, they cry. If you take it, boom, and you just hold it in and you take the pain. You let them take your lunch money. You let them take the shoes off your feet, the money out your pocket. You let them take your cornbread. They're fine with that. Oh, look at Tim. He's so nice the way he took that butt whooping. What a good guy. That's a stand-up guy taking that butt whooping and not complaining. But see, if you start fighting back, then they play victim. Oh, my God, he hit me back. How dare he lay a hand on me when I'm hitting him upside his head? How dare he hit me back? How dare he go on the offensive? How dare he call me out for my BS? He doesn't know the rules here. Gertrude, make sure Bernie Sanders gets the rules. We're the only ones allowed to hit. We're the only ones allowed to punch. We're the only ones here with ammunition. No mofo. Bernie Sanders is coming to play. He's coming to play it all, so everything. Listen to the title of this one. Sanders clashes with the Washington Post on coverage as editor accuses him of pushing conspiracy theory. Yeah, they're calling Bernie saying that he's not getting a fair shake in Washington Post. They're calling that a conspiracy theory. But Tim, didn't you just tell us that last election cycle, 16 articles, negative articles were written about Bernie Sanders in 24 hours from the Washington Post? How can they say that's a conspiracy theory if they wrote 16 articles that were all negative from the same news outlet? Well, here's the thing. See, they can say that because, well, they own the news outlet. They can say whatever they want to say. They fact-check themselves. They decide what's accurate and what's not. That's how the game is rigged. Who checks the fact checkers? No one. Republican strategist Erin Elmore, Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha weigh in. Bernie Sanders is taking aim at the Washington Post and the newspapers labeling his attacks as a conspiracy theory. They say the senator touched off the war of words after criticizing the Post coverage of his White House bid. Now, Bernie Sanders responded to the criticism that Bernie Sanders is somehow going after the Washington Post. Those poor guys, the defenseless news organization that prints its own media, has a staff of writers and consultants, and poor Bernie Sanders is attacking them and punching down.
What to do? Absolutely not. It doesn't. Do I think Jeff Bezos is on the phone telling the editor of the Washington Post what to do? Absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. But what I think is in media in general, there is a framework. The New York Times operates under, that the Washington Post operates under, CNN operates under. For example, I've been in politics for a few years. You know what? Not one reporter has ever asked me, Bernie, what are you going to do about the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality? You can ask me that? Is that part of what media talks about? What are you going to do about 3 people owning more wealth in the bottom half of America? Bernie, what are you going to do about 40 million Americans living in poverty, 500,000 people sleeping out on the street? Why is it, Bernie, that we are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people, and we spend twice as much per person as other industrialized countries? Do you hear that question being asked by the corporate media very often?
But by not asking that question, does that make the media unfair?
It does, in a way. It does, in a way. It doesn't mean it's unfair to me personally. But if those are the issues that I am campaigning on, and those are the issues that I cannot talk about, then what I am trying to do does not get out to the American people.
The Washington Post responded by saying, we don't have a problem with you, Bernie. We just, we don't have marching orders from Jeff Bezos. We just don't like you that much. Now, they didn't actually say that, but they did say, Senator Sanders is a member of a large club of politicians of every ideology who complain about their coverage. I don't know this large contingent of politicians that you're referring to. What, there's a milkman or a guy running from city council somewhere in Alaska that I don't know about who's complaining about his coverage? No, we're talking about you specifically, Washington Post. Why are you bringing up large double speak? Bernie Sanders, he brings up Amazon. He brings that up on his stump speech. He said, look, we pointed out over and over again that Amazon made $10 billion in profits last year. You know how much they paid in taxes. You got it, 0. Well, he didn't actually say that. He said, we have pointed out over and over again that Amazon made $10 billion in taxes. Oh, in profits. In profits. How much did they pay in taxes? You got it, 0. 0 on taxes. Instead of responding to the thing that you're being, it's not even being accused of, the thing that's being expressed. Instead, it's, well, let's go ahead and deflect and look over there, there's a squirrel. Look at the squirrel. Wow, I love squirrels. Look at them run, little legs just do like this. Typical, folks, very typical. When cornered, see, the Washington Post is of a species called El Deflectorus vermin. It's from the Latin vermin, root deflector, meaning escape, meaning reject. And they are very skilled in the ability to not answer directly when questioned. They have an uncanny ability not to respond. See, the real question is, did you make $10 billion in profits and pay no taxes, you bald-headed Klingon? And that's coming from a guy who's bald-headed, and I am self-aware. I know I don't have hair. But I'm so comfortable in my baldness, I'm willing to go after other bald guys if need be. So what say you, Sparky? Did you or did you not make $10 billion in profit and not pay a penny in taxes? And if so, why are you talking? Yeah, like if a guy robs us or robbed me, he better shut up. I mean, it's one thing to rob me. This is another thing for me to have to listen to you talk too. There is no level of audacity that these people have, is what I'm trying to tell you. And Jeff Bezos is just one of the long line of these people. Now, Bernie says, look, it's not that it's about me specifically, but they don't want to talk about any of these issues. When was the last time they talked about, hey, Bernie, why do we have so many people living under poverty? See, you don't even get to ask that question in corporate media because they don't want to know the answer, because they know that the answer is going to point to themselves. Uh-oh. Can't have that. So the whole idea is, hey, look, Bernie's not saying, hey, I'm a victim. It's not just me. It's not like, stop Bernie. Though it is stop Bernie, you know. But he's more artful than, you know, I would be. I would just be like, you guys hate me. You hate me. You know you hate me. But Bernie's like, look, you hate the issues that I care about. You don't want to discuss the issues that matter to the American people, the issues that I happen to be running on. Not on if I got hot sauce in my purse. Not on how black I am or how gay I am or does my husband like spaghetti or I'm just born to do it. I'm just born to do it. I'm just into it like Beto. I am the do-it politician that jumps on tables. Like, Bernie doesn't do any of that. He just says, hey, your money's messed up because these suckers stole it. You're dying because they give you these someone died recently, newlywed died recently. Young guy died because he changed his dosage of insulin. And I know this happens a lot. Died, you know, because he couldn't afford insulin at the regular level, at the price, so he had to start to ration it, and that's not healthy, and he passed away. These things happen all the time. But see, Bernie wants to focus on issues like that really matter to you and I, because I don't know about you. I don't much care what Hillary put on her sandwiches or her chicken or whatever, or eggs. I don't much care, even though I do like hot sauce on my eggs, so that's pretty good. But, I mean, I don't care if she does, though. You get what I'm saying? And I don't care who Kamala dated. It's funny, though. But I don't care. Like, that doesn't mean anything. If I thought you were the person that was going to get the car out the ditch, I'd be with you. That's what people don't get. I'd be with anyone. You think I just woke up and said, hey, I want the 77-year-old Jewish dude. Yeah. People kill me. You mofos in my comment sections, you think I just woke up one day and said, hey, I want to ride for the 77-year-old Jewish dude. I have no choice because he has the better policies that will help the people that I care about. You understand? I had to vote policy. And then, of course, it becomes endearing that a person who champions for things that you care about, that person becomes endearing. They become endearing to you. It happens because they're fighting, they're speaking your language, they're your people. But make no mistake about it, if it was Amy Klobuchar, I'd ride for Amy Klobuchar. If it was Cory Booker, I'd ride for Cory Booker. And it would be nothing anyone could tell me if I really felt in my heart of hearts. If I had a heart, and this side of the heart was another little heart, this side of that heart was another little heart. In my heart of hearts, if I felt that Cory Booker was the answer, I'd ride for Cory Booker. John Delaney, hell no. But you get my point, man. Don't push it. What about Bill de Blasio? You trying to make me punch you in the mouth, Fredo? Is that what you want? I'll mess you up, man. I'm going to mess you up. The point is Bernie Sanders is standing on what his campaign is about. He's saying, look, they're not allowing these conversations to happen that really will resonate with the American people. It's for a reason, and I'm going to keep pushing. So all of you naysayers, I remember you. Last election cycle, if you're still there, a lot have disappeared. Funny how that happens. See, you were here for a season. I'm here for a reason. These things matter. It's about the future of this country, the future. It ain't even about it. We're about to. It's about our kids. It's about our grandkids. It's about your neighbor's kids. It's about kids across the world you may never meet. It's about the planet. It's about schools, the elderly. It's about veterans. It's about the little deer. It's about all of it. If you can't see that their distractive nature of the media to focus on low-hanging fruit that doesn't add to the conversation, hey, look, man, I totally am down for a moment of brevity. Hey, But this is election time, mofo, Washington Poe. A little focus on the issues wouldn't kill you, but it might kill us if you don't.